Okay, imagine this for a moment. You're stepping into the grand halls of Parliament House in New Delhi. It's September 9th, 2025. The air is just thick with history, anticipation. Lawmakers are gathering.
Hmm. Not for the usual debates, though.
No, exactly. It's for this fundamental democratic ritual electing India's vice president. And then by evening, the news breaks. Chandrapuram Panusami Radhakrishnan, C.P. Radhakrishnan, he's done it. India's 15th vice president.
Really significant moment.
It really is. So our mission today, let's unpack his incredible story. From his roots in Tiruppur, the textile hub, through this huge moment. We'll weave through the facts, the political drama, and what his rise means. Let's dive in.
Well, it's definitely more than just another election. This is a pretty pivotal shift, constitutionally speaking. He's stepping into a role that really bridges the executive and legislative branches, succeeding Jagdeep Dhankar.
A key position.
Absolutely. Immense constitutional importance.
So this man, C.P. Radhakrishnan, his journey is quite something. But maybe first, let's set the scene. How exactly does India choose its VP? It's kind of fascinating, isn't it? It's not like the big general elections. It's much more exclusive.
That's a good way to put it. Exclusive, yes. Unlike the presidential election, where state assemblies get involved,
Right.
this one is purely down to the members of parliament. The Electoral College is just the elected and nominated members of both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha.
Lower and upper houses.
Exactly. So for this election, that meant 781 potential voters, although 7 seats were actually vacant at the time.
Yeah.
And crucially, every single vote carries equal weight. It's a pure test of consensus within parliament.
Right. So what's the actual voting system like?
It follows proportional representation using the single transferable vote.
Okay, so voters rank their choices.
Precisely. They ranked the candidates, and any surplus votes from, say, the most popular candidate can get redistributed based on those lower preferences. The whole thing is overseen, of course, by the Election Commission of India.
Yeah.
Very tightly managed.
And the day itself. Polling kicked off at 10 a.m., I believe, in the new Parliament building.
Yes, quite symbolic. And Prime Minister Modi cast the very first ballot. A clear signal, from the ruling NDA.
Sign of confidence.
Definitely. Voting went on till 5 p.m., and then counting started pretty sharpish at 6 p.m. The returning officer, Pramod Chandra Modi, who's also the Rajya Sabha Secretary General, kept a close watch.
So when those numbers finally came through, what did they tell us? It seemed pretty clear-cut.
It was, yeah. Radhakrishnan got 452 first preference votes. His opponent, the retired Supreme Court Justice B. Sudershan Reddy, received 300.
That's a margin of 152 votes. Quite decisive.
Very decisive. It really underscores the NDA's firm grip on Parliament right now. There's no doubting their strength in numbers.
But the opposition put up a fight.
Oh, absolutely. The NDA bloc, they pushed hard. It shows a spirited opposition, even if the numbers weren't quite there for them. Get this. Turnout was huge, 98.2%. Out of 767 votes cast, 752 were valid. 15 got invalidated for, various reasons. And here's a really interesting wrinkle. MPs aren't bound by party whips in these secret ballots.
Ah, so they can vote their conscience, technically.
Exactly. Which means while party loyalty is obviously strong, there's always the possibility of some, cross-voting. Or at least individual choices diverging slightly.
And speaking of divergence, we saw some abstentions, too. 13 MPs.
Yeah, 13 sat it out. 7 from the Biju Janata Dal, the BJD. 4 from the Bharat Rashtra Samiti, BRS. 1 from the Shiromani Akali Dal, SAD, and 1 independent MP.
That adds another layer, doesn't it? Regional parties showing their independence.
It's a classic move. BJD, BRS, they often do this sort of thing, stepping back from the national alliances to assert their own space.
Right. Makes sense. So what was the magic number needed for victory?
The quota, based on valid votes, was 377. Radhakrishnan sailed past that quite comfortably. He had the NDA's 425 MPs, plus crucial support from allies like the YSR Congress Party. They brought 11 votes to the table.
And the opposition. They claimed around 315 voters.
They did. But they fell short of that number in the final tally. And there were whispers, from BJP leaders suggesting maybe 15 or so opposition MPs might have secretly voted for Radhakrishnan.
Interesting. That cross-voting possibility again.
Exactly. You never quite know in a secret ballot.
Now, beyond just the numbers game, the opposition, the NDA bloc, they framed this whole thing as an ideological battle.
Yes, they did.
Portraying it as constitutional guardians versus those they felt were undermining parliamentary norms, shifting the focus.
Which brings us to Justice Reddy, the opposition candidate, Who was he, really?
Good question. Tell us about him.
Well, he's a very distinguished figure, 79 years old, a veteran judge from Andhra Pradesh. He's known for some really landmark rulings, things like the Salwajudum vigilante groups case and probes into black money. Quite a heavyweight.
So he represented judicial integrity, that sort of image?
Precisely. He came into the race as this symbol of judicial independence, untainted by day-to-day politics, an alternative vision. And what was quite striking was his concession speech. Very gracious.
What did he say?
He accepted the outcome with abiding faith in the democratic processes of our great republic. But he added, the ideological battle continues with ever greater vigor.
A classy exit.
Very classy. A good reminder of how democracy should work, even in defeat. Civility matters.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've got the election sorted. Let's really zoom in on the man himself now, C.P. Radhakrishnan. His background is fascinating.
It really is. A story starting right from the grassroots. He was born October 20, 1957 in Tiruppur, that's in Tamil Nadu's Kongu Belt, a town famous for its textile mills, real industrious spirit.
Right.
Grew up in a modest Kongu Valala Gounder family. His parents, C.K. Ponasamy and his mother, they instilled values like discipline, service, standard stuff, maybe. But the real spark, it seems, came from the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, the RSS.
The BJP's ideological wellspring.
Exactly. He joined as a Swayamsevak, a volunteer, in 1973. He was just 16.
16, wow.
Yeah. And that early immersion in the RSS ethos, nation-building, character, community, it clearly set the path for his entire life.
Yeah.
Forged his political identity early on.
And he didn't hang about. By 17, he was already on the state executive committee of the Bharatiya Janata Sangh.
That's right, the precursor to the BJP. Then came the Janata Party wave in 77, a huge political upheaval. And there he was, a young man, out rallying alongside big names like Chandrasekhar on these cross-country campaigns. Imagine that experience.
Incredible. Witnessing it all firsthand.
And when the BJP was officially born in 1980, he was fully immersed. Became a close aide to Atal Bihari Vajpayee.
A towering figure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But Radhakrishnan's early days weren't about glamour. It was hard graft, tireless meetings, organizing youth wings, trying to build bridges in Tamil Nadu, a state dominated by Dravidian politics where the BJP was, frankly, seen as an outsider.
That must have been incredibly challenging, trying to build a base there.
Immensely tough. It needed real dedication, a knack for connecting locally, finding issues that resonated beyond just party lines.
And then came his big break in 98.
Yes, 98. It was a difficult time, actually, in the shadow of the Coimbatore serial bombings, which had really shaken the region. He contested from Coimbatore, which was becoming a bit of a BJP stronghold in the south, and he managed to defeat the incumbent from the DMK.
A major upset.
Huge. He was one of only 3 BJP winners in Tamil Nadu that year, and that was partly thanks to an alliance they had with the AIADMK at the time.
But he held on to the seat in 99 too, didn't he? Even after the alliances shifted.
He did. Re-elected in 1999, even though the BJP had switched its alliance partner to the DMK by then.
So those back-to-back wins, definitely not a fluke.
No, not at all. It really showed he had this ability to connect directly with voters. He focused on simple, relatable things. Economic growth for the textile weavers in Coimbatore, which was vital. Anti-terrorism, obviously important after the bombings. Social harmony.
Practical concern.
Very practical. And in Parliament, he wasn't just making up the numbers. He served on important committees, commerce, public sector undertakings, finance. He even represented India at the UN General Assembly.
Wow. From Tiruppur to the UN.
Exactly. Imagine the son of a textile town discussing global trade on the world stage. That kind of practical global view could be really useful in the Rajya Sabha, especially with economic debates.
But politics isn't always wins. He had setbacks too, right? Lost Lok Sabha elections later on.
Oh, yes. Politics is a marathon, like you said. He lost in 2004, 2014, and 2019 from Coimbatore. Those losses definitely tested his resolve.
But he didn't give up.
Never seemed to. His tenacity as well, quite something. Between 2004 and 2007, when he was the Tamil Nadu BJP president, he organized this massive Rath Yatra.
The chariot procession.
Yeah, a 93-day journey covering 19,000 kilometers across the state, like a modern pilgrimage.
What was the focus?
Really crucial issues for ordinary people. River linking projects to tackle drought, which is a huge issue there, eradicating untouchability, anti-drug campaigns, counterterrorism, critics, Parties like the DMK, they dismissed it as just political theater.
Of course.
But for his supporters, it was seen as a masterstroke. It helped humanize the BJP in the South where they were still trying to gain traction. And he wasn't afraid to stand up for his beliefs. Got arrested in 2012 in Mettupalayam, protesting an assault on an RSS worker. Showed that fire, that conviction.
That unwavering spirit seems key, a quality you'd want in high office.
Definitely. And his skills weren't just political or organizational. He had this administrative flair, too.
The business background.
Exactly. He has a Bachelor of Business Administration, a BBA. And before his big political wins from 85 to 98, he was actually in business, exporting cotton-knitted fabrics, building textile links with Bangladesh, Europe, Asia, the Middle East. Real hands-on experience.
That's interesting.
And then later, from 2016 to 2020, he was chairman of the Core Board. That's under the MSME ministry.
Core, like coconut fiber.
Yeah, that sturdy stuff from coconuts in Kerala and Tamil Nadu. He basically transformed it from a niche industry into a bit of a powerhouse. Core exports hit a record, 700 crore under his watch. That's a huge boost for rural livelihoods, opening up global markets.
So a real focus on economic growth, practical results.
You can see him bringing that mindset to the Rajya Sabha, can't you?
Yeah, you can. Now, his RSS roots kept pulling him back to party work, too.
They did. From 2020 to 2022, he was the BJP's national in-charge for Kerala. A tough assignment, trying to expand the party's footprint in a traditionally left-leaning state. He did 2 big padayatras there, foot marches, to connect directly with people.
And then came the governorships.
Right, a shift into constitutional roles, showcasing his statesmanship. Appointed governor of Jharkhand in February 2023. And he didn't just sit in the Raj Bhavan. He toured all 24 districts in just 4 months, really getting out there, engaging people on tribal welfare, anti-corruption.
Hands-on approach again.
Very much so. He even held additional governor charges briefly for Telangana and Puducherry. Shows adaptability. Then, sworn in as Maharashtra's governor in July 2024. There, he championed TB eradication, visited 24 countries on official duty. Always the bridge builder.
Though he apparently clashed a bit with the government in Jharkhand.
Mildly, yes. Over some governance issues with the JMM government, but that's sometimes part of a governor's role, holding the executive to account. All that gubernatorial experience, state-federal relations, administration, that's invaluable for the vice president's role.
Definitely. So, beyond the CV, beyond the roles, what's he like as a person?
Well, apparently quite athletic in his youth. Table tennis champion, long-distance runner. Suggests discipline, maybe a bit of warmth, too. Colleagues call him the Vajpayee of Coimbatore.
High praise comparing him to Vajpayee. Why that nickname?
For his style. Affable, non-abrasive, able to engage without necessarily polarizing people. That's quite rare in politics today.
A valuable trait.
Incredibly valuable. And what's really striking, perhaps, is that he's unmarried and has stayed completely controversy-free throughout this long career.
50 years of service without scandal.
Over 50 years. Epitomizing that RSS-BJP loyalty and, well, integrity. It lends a certain moral authority, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Especially for a role needing impartiality.
That's a crucial point. In today's often heated political climate, how might that clean record and disciplined style help him in the Rajya Sabha chair?
It could be a huge asset. Presiding over the upper house requires fairness, calmness under pressure. When debates get fiery, having someone known for being non-abrasive, someone with that unblemished record, it might just help lower the temperature, encourage more constructive dialogue.
Fingers crossed for that.
We'll see. His RSS roots give him a strong ideological grounding, obviously, but his track record suggests he can work within different frameworks.
So let's bring it all together. He's vice president now. What does this role actually entail and what are the implications? It's often called ceremonial, but it's more than that.
Oh, much more. Yes, it's the second highest office. Steps in if the president is unavailable. That's constitutionally vital. But the day-to-day critical function is presiding over the Rajya Sabha, the chairman's role. Fostering balanced debate, ensuring legislation moves smoothly.
And that's become quite contentious recently. Opposition complaints about being stifled.
Exactly. So all eyes will be on Radhakrishnan. How will he handle the inevitable storms in the chamber? Will his reputation for fairness translate into practice? Plus, there's the symbolism. His southern roots are a clear signal of the BJP's continued outreach to the south, especially with Tamil Nadu elections coming up in 2026.
Right, a powerful symbol.
And he's only the third Tamil vice president, after Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan and R. Venkataraman. That's a significant nod to Dravidian heritage in a top national post. Good for national integration, arguably.
Okay, and the reactions to his win, a mix, as you'd expect.
A real downpour of reactions, yeah. President Murmo led the congratulations, highlighting his decades of rich experience. Prime Minister Modi praised his devotion to service, predicting he'd enhance parliament discourse.
Standard praise from the top.
Pretty much. Amit Shah mentioned his grassroots and administrative knowledge serving the marginalized. Rajnath Singh predicted the Rajya Sabha would scale new heights. And there was that lighthearted comment from Maharashtra CM Fadnavis about a Mumbai voter being elected VP, referencing Radhakrishnan's recent governorship there.
Huh, right. Allies were happy too.
Oh, yes. Nitish Kumar in Bihar, Himanta Biswa Sarma in Assam, they echoed the NDA's joy. Kumar called it a reflection of the collective will.
And on the opposition side, more measured, I assume.
Measure, yes. Congress Chief Mallikarjun Kharge offered congratulations, but added that hope that Radhakrishnan would uphold parliamentary traditions, ensuring space for the opposition. A pointed hope.
Setting expectations.
Exactly. Jairam Ramesh, also Congress, called their 40% vote share respectable, framing it as a kind of moral victory compared to the last VP election. Others, like John Brettes from CPIM, kept the focus on defending the Constitution. Priyanka Chaturvedi from Shiv Sena, UBT, expressed hope for restored dignity in the chair.
And those earlier, sharper criticisms, calling him another RSS man?
Those generally softened after the election results came in. The focus shifted more towards, hoping for unity, working within the system. That's often how it goes in politics once the die is cast.
Pragmatism kicks in.
Pretty much.
So wrapping this up, C.P. Radhakrishnan's journey is quite the story. From an RSS volunteer in small-town Tamil Nadu to the country's vice president.
It really is inspiring, in a way. Proof that in India's democracy, those deep grassroots connections can lead all the way to the top. A narrative of commitment.
It feels like a reminder that leadership isn't always about the loudest voice, maybe. More about that quiet resolve, that consistent public service trying to connect across divides.
Well put. It's about building things steadily over time.
So what's the big takeaway for you, looking at his journey and this new role?
I think the crucial question now is this. He's stepping into this key role, chairing the Rajya Sabha. How will all that diverse experience, grassroots activism, business, global trade, governorships, how will that actually shape India's path? Especially when you think about the big challenges, economic reforms, social equity, global uncertainties. His path suggests he's a bridge builder.
But can he bridge the divides in Parliament today?
That's the ultimate test, isn't it? Fostering harmony in an increasingly polarized chamber. It's definitely something we'll all be watching closely as his tenure begins. Food for thought.